everyone, my name is Tamara Chambers, and this is Tamara Just Saw, and today, I went and saw Rampage. On Twitter, I was like, oh man, vote for what you think I should see, there's not much coming out this week, and I thought I was gonna go see Breaking In, that got the least amount of votes, and then I Feel Pretty was in second place, which was a shock to me. I honestly think that I would like I Feel Pretty when I finally see it. I think I'll probably really like it, but I thought, I don't know, aren't people hating on that film? Maybe that's why they wanted me to see it. Anyways, Rampage won by a landslide. And I'm a bit concerned because it's been out for a few weeks that it might not do well. You know, something you think about. It's a tuber. But it did so well in the vote. It's a video game film. It's got The Rock in it. And it looks like a stupid fun movie. So, alright. I knew that I was going to like it, but I did not know to the extent at which I was going to like it. I loved it. The Rock is just, everything he touches is gold, but like cheesy gold. Like fun, cheesy, stupid, lovely, heartfelt gold. I will say this, there's definitely gonna be spoilers in this, though this isn't like a Star Wars film. This isn't, you know, Infinity War. I don't think that me spoiling things is gonna really spoil anything. It's an action flick about a video game, gorilla, and crocodile, and wolf. A wolf that can fly, but a wolf nonetheless. So I've played Rampage before. It's kind of a fun twist on the whole monster idea. It's where you're playing as the monster instead of the military trying to take down the monsters. You're trying to take down the cities, and you get to advance in levels when you turn the city into rubble. Super fun. Easy enough concept, and they did such a good job. This is one of the best video game movies I've ever seen. Ever. This movie was super full of action, had decent enough characters that you cared about what happened to them, even though they were generic, and even though a lot of the writing was really run-of-the-mill action, for some reason it super worked, and all of these people were just, like I said, just very generic, but in the best way. And some of the references that they made were like almost calling out this type of movie, and it was amazing. It was so good. It was so much fun. I cannot believe the amount of fun that I had. I know Malcolm was telling me that he really liked it. I know a lot of people online said that they just loved it. I was like, yeah, no, I know. I'm definitely going to enjoy it. But man, I did not know. I thought I knew, didn't know. I had no idea. It starts in space, which is a great way to start a generic action film that rules. And it has just such a silly tone. Like, everything's serious, and like the things going wrong are definitely going wrong, but it starts with such a silly tone that it really just gives the film permission to just be its silly, action-y self, and you're okay with it. It feels like you're laughing with them, not at them. And also, The Rock is just a film goddess, and he did such a good job in this. And there was even a point at the end where I'm like, ah, man, I really wish he would have cried. I wish at the very end, he thinks that George is dead. I wanted him to cry. He's his best friend. He doesn't like people because his character is so generic that he's like, yeah, people just don't get me. I really just get along with animals. That's why I have such a strong bond with this gorilla. It's so generic, but I don't know. It's his best friend. It worked. And also, it's his best friend, and I wanted him to cry when his best friend was dead. You know what I mean? And he didn't, and I was like, I don't really care. It still works. A gorilla flicks off the rock in the first 5 minutes of the movie, so yeah, it's a 10. If I remember correctly in the game, it was scientists that turned into these big animals. Am I making that up? Am I crazy with that? In this, it's the space rocks from the space scene in the beginning fall onto 3 specific animals on Earth and turn into these giant monsters that's attacking the city. So they already start off as animals, and then they're just plagued with space rock. You know, right? It's just science. Then you're introduced to the villains, who are played by young Jim and the girl that plays the slutty sister in all romantic comedies, and I'm very on board. I love it. They're a very good duo. They're so dramatic in the way that they're villains, especially the female character, and I am here for it. So you get George's first big freak out, and every single monster movie where somebody has a connection with an animal and he's trying to calm down the animal, cops come and ruin it with guns. Stop shooting at giant animals that are ruining the city like it's your job. It is your job, but stop. So then you see the giant wolf, and the wolf is attacking people. Let's call the giant wolf Cheryl. Cheryl is attacking the city, and Cheryl's just gonna go ahead and eat y'all. Cheryl's not messing around. That I just wrote, lol, okay, actually they started calling him Ralph, which is, I have to admit, even better than Cheryl, so we're gonna go with Ralph. So because The Rock is trying to help out George, he gets captured by the government, obviously, and they zip tie his arms together, and he just breaks out at one point, and I was very impressed, until I remembered I had seen a YouTube tutorial showing you how to break out of the zip tie, and it looked pretty easy. So I'm gonna try it. Not impressive, The Rock. Pretty sure I didn't do that right. So you've got Giant George, Giant Ralph, and now a giant alligator attacking Chicago, which, if there's anything that's giant and from Florida, that's 10 times scarier than it already was going to be. Again, that's science. I love that this was set in Chicago. I didn't realize it was going to be set in Chicago. It was a surprise when I sat down and was watching the film, and I adored it. I don't think I've ever seen a monster movie set in Chicago. I'm like, oh my gosh, they just ruined the giant Dave & Buster's downtown. Hilarious. Never been. More of like a bar arcade type of girl, but I know that place. Again, the movie tropes with the character are so funny. It's like, yeah, I just get along with animals so much, and I'm sensitive, and I'm strong. Like, I'm very toned and strong, and I've got a really good moral compass. Oh, forget what I said about I don't get along with people, because the romantic lead just gets me. She just gets me. But I love it! It works! It works so well. So the romantic lead and The Rock are looking for an antidote to help get rid of the aggression that George has, so that George can help take down the other two monsters and hopefully put an end to this destruction of Chicago. They're looking for the antidote, and it's called an RPG. She's like, look for anything labeled RPG. And that was my favorite part of the movie. It was such an easy, simple little thing. Jeffrey Dean Morgan played Agent Russell, who was like the tough but slightly funny cowboy CIA agent, FBI agent. I don't know what kind of agent he was, but he was a delight. He was so funny, and again, so typical of these types of movies, but was great. I loved him. I wrote, I mean, what the hell? He rides a broken helicopter down a tumbling skyscraper like an avalanche. I think I'm in love. Honestly, The Rock is not my type, but maybe now he is. George, no! Just a little preview of the film if you haven't seen it. Any film that has a powerful military character who doesn't even have a name, I don't think, yell, abort mission, is just, well, usually it's really bad, honestly, but this time it was real fun. It was real hoot. Even the very end was just so cheesy. You know, he thinks that his gorilla friend is dead, and then his gorilla friend's like, joke's on you, buddy, I'm not dead. And it's real cheesy, and the gorilla's like, are you crying? And The Rock's like, I'm not crying. He wasn't actually really crying, but it was, the gorilla, you know, George hits on the romantic lead for him, and, you know, it's a whole thing, and I love it. This movie has been out for a while, and I've been sleeping on it by not seeing it immediately. It was so much fun. It's super worth going. Go on $5 Tuesdays, whatever theaters do that. Go get a movie pass while you still can. Oh, movie pass, please don't go. Go watch this movie. It was so much fun. I had popcorn, and I got a side of cheese to dip my popcorn in. Just like next level shit. It was great. It was really fun. I super recommend this movie. Thank you so much for watching. I have got some really exciting weeks coming up with Solo and Deadpool 2, and so Bigger movies are coming. These last 2 weeks have been just... There's not much going on, you know what I mean? Thank you so much for watching. I'll see y'all next week. Bye!